I love how Challengers has been marketed as an erotic thriller when it's a straight up tennis movie with a love triangle in it, which I don't mind. Being a tennis player myself from my middle school to college. So yeah, I didn't mind it because yeah, it's a good movie. But yeah, don't expect like this like any sex or nudity in here. Yeah, maybe there's a little bit of nudity, but it's not. It's not an erotic thriller at all. This is yeah, definitely a straight up tennis movie. And you've probably seen the trailers or the TV spots where you see Zendaya and the two guys are kissing her. And yeah, and there's a funny thing that happens with that scene. But it is definitely not like that. It definitely focuses on tennis with the relationships between these three characters, which is a love triangle. And I think it's pretty well done. And the three characters we follow in the movie are named Tashi, Art, and Patrick. And they're all, I think, really good characters. And of course, we got Zendaya playing Tashi in the movie. And yeah, Zendaya is really good in this movie. I heard people say that this might be her best performance. I haven't seen everything she's in. I've only seen really like her in the Spider-Man movies, so I really can't say. But yeah, she's really great in this, and she is intense. Like when she's playing tennis, yeah, she is intense, and yeah, you can see it. And I know she's probably taken maybe influence from maybe some actual tennis players, and she actually trained in playing tennis in this like for this movie. So yeah, but yeah, this is a character that loves tennis more than pretty much anything or anybody else, and she shows it in this movie. And yeah, she's definitely a flawed character because there are things she says in here and things she does that you're gonna be like, "What are you doing? You didn't just say that," or like, "Oh, yeah, you didn't just do that." So yeah, she's definitely a flawed character. She's not like someone you're probably gonna like root for in the movie, but she's a character that's fascinating to watch, and that's why I really liked Zendaya's performance in this movie. And they show in the trailers that she is injured early on in her career, and this is where she takes up coaching her husband in the movie, which is one of the two guys she has this love triangle with throughout the years. And the husband, his name was like Art Donaldson, played by Mike Faist. I have not seen this actor in a movie yet, I don't think, but he did a pretty good job. I thought he actually did a really good job in this movie. And he's someone who just like feels done with tennis when we see him in the present day in this movie. Like, he feels done with tennis, but he wants to please his wife, Tashi here. They say in the movie he's had a storied career. And yeah, what we see in the past too with his relationship with Patrick, played by Josh O'Connor, I thought they did a really good job with that. They made him feel like brothers in the movie, as they were doubles partners, and they seem like they've been best friends since like maybe like high school years. And Josh O'Connor playing Patrick in the movie, he did a great job. I think he did a great job, and he's also like an actor I haven't seen in a movie in like another movie yet, but with him here, I think he did a great job. And he's like, this is the character that's actually more like struggling more with like money and all that, sleeping in his car. Yeah, I thought they really played that well, and where he's like struggling, not in the same boat as Art, who was like once best friend in the movie. And I hope I'm not giving too much away, because they do play with time. They have a lot of flashbacks in this movie, and it shows you what they are doing in the present day with them playing each other, and then of course going back to the when they were doubles partners playing juniors of the US Open, which I thought was great as well. So yeah, but yeah, Josh O'Connor, I thought he really stood out in this movie. I thought he did a great job being also pretty much a flawed character. I would say definitely all three of them are flawed, but I feel like Patrick in the movie is definitely a more flawed character. He's also a character that you probably shake your head at, but he's also a very fascinating character to watch, and you see why that maybe he has like the chemistry with Zendaya's characters. And yeah, I said there were flashbacks in the movie, and there are a lot of flashbacks. I think flashbacks take up pretty much maybe like 75% of the movie, which is a lot. And I think most of the flashbacks work. I would say I feel like there's a little too many of these flashbacks, because like in this movie, I felt like I was losing track of what happened at what time. So it was like at one moment you see it's like, oh, this is like 5 years ago, and then there's another flashback which is like 2 weeks ago, or like a day ago. So it was all over the place, which it's kind of a little flaw in the movie, but it wasn't like anything that was a big problem, but yeah, it's a lot of flashbacks in this movie, and yeah, it's kind of jarring sometimes when you see these flashbacks. But it was definitely necessary to have these flashbacks in the movie because we needed to see Zendaya's Tashi play and where she came from in playing, and of course with Art and Patrick being doubles partners and best friends pretty much. So yeah, they were necessary, and I think they worked for the most part in the movie. I would say the biggest flaw for me in this movie was the score, and I wouldn't say it was the score itself, it was how they used it and how loud the score was in certain moments. Like, it worked in some points because they used this like bumping score in like during matches, but they also used it when two people were talking in a certain scene, and they kind of bumped it up a little bit too loud where I can hear them talk, but it just was a little bit annoying. So I would say like that score in the movie was kind of a flaw because, yeah, I don't know if it really fit the scene, but I know they wanted to keep like the rhythm of the movie going, and maybe that's why the director had it used. But yeah, I just thought, okay, it worked for the tennis matches, but did not work for these dialogue scenes. Okay, so apparently Trent Reznor did the score for this movie. Sorry, Trent. But what I really liked about this movie was the tennis feeling so authentic because, yeah, I thought the tennis was authentic. I still have this racket in my hand. But yeah, it felt authentic because a lot of these shots in the movie, a lot of the shots that they are taking, they're very powerful and they feel very realistic, whether it was them hitting these balls or not. So yeah, I know each of them, I think Zendaya and the two actors, they did train in playing tennis as good enough, I guess, to actually look professional for this movie. So yeah, what they did with it, whether it was them playing or maybe like, I don't know, maybe it's CGI or whatever effects. However they did it pretty well. And the tournaments look pretty realistic also. They look legit for this movie because they're not going too big with it, because in the opening of the movie they show you that they're at the Junior US Open, which they're not playing at the big stadium Arthur Ashe, but they're playing at a smaller one over there over there in New York. So yeah, they're very realistic with it. They're very authentic with it. And even the college scenes, because two of the characters do go to college, and yeah, they show them playing in college, and it's very authentic. Yeah, I guess what Luca Guadagnino, that's his name, right? The director's name. He did a really, really good job with this movie. But yeah, I really like Challengers, and I would give it a 9 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. And again, don't go in thinking it's an erotic thriller. It's a tennis movie with a love triangle in it. So yeah, if that interests you, go see it. And yeah, tell me what you thought about the movie if you have seen it. And until next time, I'll see y'all later. Rebel out.